Today I'm going to show you how to make the back end of a bunny for your door for Easter time. Okay, the materials you need to get started with this is I found this wooden decoration at the dollar store. I'm finding the dollar stores are putting a lot of these out right now. They're supposed to be intended to like just paint on. So I really like using these. And then two pieces of paper. I went with a pattern and a solid piece in a color coordinating. A flower of your choice. I like something that's full because this is going to be used for the tail. Or you could do a pom-pom if you don't like the flower idea. Some ribbon, a glue stick, a black marker, a pencil. You're going to create some stencils. A thin screwdriver, I'll show you what we need to do with that, and a hole punch. So the first thing you want to do to get started, now you could just try to cut your paper out and make it fit around that, but I thought that that was going to be too challenging. So what I did was I took a really thin flathead screwdriver and I'm just basically going to gently work my way, and this will take a little bit of time to do, but you want to gently work your way around the flower or around all the wood pieces, and you're going to hear it release itself from the bottom, and you just want to work around and release this flower from the base of the project, so that way you can cover them separately and then glue them back on as needed. So you just got to take your time and work your way around, and you'll hear the glue coming up from underneath. And just be real gentle because you don't want to, you know, break the wood because it is a really thin piece of wood. But I find that most projects that I've been doing, the glue isn't that terrible at the dollar store that you can't get the pieces of wood up. Okay, so now I've removed the pieces of wood, and that's pretty much how they came up. Some of the undercoating came off a little bit, which is fine, because what I'm going to do is flip this over, and this will be my good side, and this will be my back, which no one will ever see. And again, these were the tops, so I will use this as my good side and glue them back down as needed. Now the tail I'm not going to use, so I'm just going to put that aside. I might use that in a different decoration, but I'm going to just use it like this. So now your next step is you want to take your papers, and I'm going to do my checkered paper for the bunny's body. So you're just going to flip it over, and if it's a pattern, like I've said before, that it matters which direction you want to pay attention to that. And my bunny just fits perfectly on one piece of paper. So when you're picking your papers, you might want to take your wooden figure with you just to make sure that it does fit on a piece of paper. So basically you're just going to trace this out, and then you're going to cut it out. And even though I am putting my flower on down here, I still traced the top, and that's going to be where my bow is going to be. And then the other thing you want to make sure, which I always tend to forget to do, is mark the holes that you have here for your hanger. So just mark them so that you can punch them out with the hole punch. Okay, so you want to do the same thing with the solid pattern of paper with the feet, and you want to trace that out as well. Okay, now the next thing I did was I wanted to do the paw. So I wanted to do 3 circles and the pad. So I've seen them done, like you could use buttons. My buttons weren't big enough, and the pad, I wanted the pad pretty big. So I decided to use the paper that I already was using for the bunnies. So I'm going to position my pad on here. So again, the gingham is straight. So I'm going to do those first because you're going to use most of your paper up. So I'll trace that out. And I'm going to do 2 of these, 1 for each foot. And then a lot of times for circles, I'll use things I have around the house, like a saucer or a plate or a cup. So in this instance, a quarter worked perfectly. So I'm going to do 6 circles using the quarter. And just use the empty space that I have. So I maximize my paper. So the next pattern you'll have to create is ears if you want ears. Now it would look just as cute without ears. You could follow the same design that the original thing was, but I'm going to put ears on mine just because I think it looks cute. So I created 2. I'll create 2 ears out of this using the green paper that I used for the feet. So you just want to trace them and cut them out. So the next thing I decided to do for this project was trace in a black ink, trace my ears and my paws and my bunny's body. So you just want to take a fine tip black marker and trace around if you like that look. Now when I outlined the bunny, I chose not to outline that tail part. I just put his body there, and you don't have to outline under here because you're going to get your feet are going to glue there. I went ahead and I will hole punch my holes for my ribbon. Okay, and then you're ready to glue. So the first thing you're going to do is glue down your base, and then you're going to glue your feet, and you're going to glue the pads to the top. So I'm just going to take a glue stick and glue each circle for the toes. Like so. Okay, so once you have that glued together, and you're going to glue it to your wood. Now, if you have spray glue, I haven't been able to get any. So this time I'm going to use my glue stick. And you can see from the purple, you just basically coat the whole piece of wood, especially around the edges. You want it to keep secure to with the piece of wood. And then you just want to stick your paper on top and glue it down. And then you'll do that with your other foot as well. So I positioned my ears where I want them in the back. I made one a little bit shorter than the other. And then I marked with a pencil. And when I lifted it, I realized that this was going to be where the hole is. So I punched a little hole in that so that when I glue it on the back, I'll know that that's exactly where I want it lined up. Glue it, and it'll have the holes so I can put my ribbon through. So beware of that. The other thing you want to do is cut your flower off. So I basically just cut it right at the stem, as close as I can get to the flower. You may need wire cutters. The other one I was able to cut with my scissors, but this one I think I'm going to have to get some wire cutters. So I'll cut that off, but you want to cut it as close as you can to the flower so that it sits flat on your bunny. So now I'm going to use my hot glue gun, and the first thing I want to do is put my ears on the back. So I'm going to position them match up, line up the hole. I wanted this ear to be a little bit taller than that ear. So just make sure they're the way you want it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is glue this ear to the back. And I decided to hot glue them because I want them to stay on well. All right, and then I'm going to glue the other one down. Now I'm going to just hot glue my feet, and I'm going to put them actually right back in the same position that they were in. So the next thing you want to glue is your flower. Now the original one had it up here without the ears. I moved it down here so I could have the ears. So I'm just going to glue my flower. Right in between the feet. So then I made a bow and a flower. I made the flower out of the gingham and the green, and I added just a little gem. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue my bow, and I'm going to glue it right where that original tail would have been. And then after you glue the bow on, I'm just going to glue the flower on top of the bow, like so. So in this instance, I decided to use the string that originally came with it, only I'm putting the string on backwards, and I'm putting the pieces through the hole to the front and having it go into the front because they're clear, and then that way you can hang your bunny from the back. So the last thing you want to do to finish your bunny off is to just trim your ribbon. So you want to do that on both sides. Like so. And there you have a really cute Easter decoration. So if this is your first time watching, welcome. And please don't forget to subscribe. If you want to receive future notification of posts, hit the bell. And if you like our video, please give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.